Maestro issue 1 sees the Hulk smashing up a Sentinel, knowing life with his wife Betty and his 2 sons is good, finding it hard to believe that he can now have all of this in his life. After the battle, the Avengers thank Bruce for his help, but he knows having the best backup in the world in case something goes wrong also helps. Captain America doesn't think anything could have gone wrong, getting Bruce to think as Betty comes to meet her husband, also telling him nothing could possibly go wrong. At Avengers Mansion, the Banner family sit down for dinner, with young Thaddeus and Rick running amok. Betty tells them to sit down, but Thaddeus tells her they don't need to listen to her, since she is dead. Bruce is shocked as he hears Betty repeating herself over and over as Thaddeus says they are all dead. Bruce tries to get her to stop as suddenly she blurts out computer error codes. Bruce shakes her as the world around them goes dark and Captain America appears, saying this is all a trick by Mysterio. Bruce knows Mysterio has never fought the Avengers as the illusion resets. Cap asks if he's going to be okay, but Bruce knows they aren't okay since he wants to know how Mysterio did this. Steve says that they're investigating as Bruce tells Betty to shut up since she continues saying the same thing over and over. Bruce goes to leave as Steve tries to stop him, but he opens the door, finding himself in a computer simulation, knowing if this truly is Mysterio, then he leveled up to Doctor Strange levels of illusion. The Avengers suddenly appear, trying to calm Bruce down. Bruce tries to leave, but Thor tries to stop him, demanding he stay put. The God of Thunder refuses to let go of Hulk, so Hulk hits him, but finds that there is no sound, something similar to like a dream. The Avengers advance on Hulk, who takes them all out but Vision with a sonic clap. Vision apologizes for this, reaching inside Bruce's head and telling him this will hurt. Bruce tells him to stop when suddenly he reawakens in the real world, hooked up to machines. Unhooking from the machines, he finds his hair is long and he has a beard, wondering just how long he's been there. He hears a voice of a woman, finding she has entered the room with what appears to be his son Rick. Hulk knocks the woman out of the way to pick up his child, who tells him not to hurt his mother. Bruce is confused, leaving the child and heading out into the hallway where AIM soldiers confront him, demanding he surrender. Hulk threatens them, but the soldiers know their weapons can hurt the hero, but Hulk only hears their boasting, getting in their faces as the soldiers open fire, smashing him back into the room. Hulk starts blacking out, but he fights through it, determined not to let them pummel him, so enraged, he smashes into the floor, escaping the soldiers. Hulk finds himself in another lab, finding the villains Vapor and Abomination hooked up to machines like he was. AIM soldiers find him, but Hulk tries to attack them, but a force shield appears and stops him, allowing the arriving MODOK to blast him into the wall, telling him to stand down. Bruce notes how MODOK looks like he's aged 100 years. He demands to know where Rick and Betty are, learning that they are long dead. Bruce flies into a rage, wanting to know what the villain did, tackling the giant head, who says he did nothing, asking if the Hulk is going to kill him, goading him to do it. MODOK says he let the hero grab him and he demands he end his life. Hulk doesn't kill him, however, letting MODOK up. The villain says that he forgot Hulk was down in the lab since his circuitry is failing and anyone smart enough to fix him is long dead and broken down, like the simulation that kept Hulk engaged. Hulk asks how they died, wondering which villain did it, but all MODOK says that it was them, the human leaders and governments who initiated World War III. He reveals a group of terrorists set bombs off in the US and Russia, using their computers to make it look like each country did it to the other. This sparked all-out war, killing 60% of humanity, and soon a group of people called the Black Sky Throws, knowing humanity was over, so they wanted to kill the remaining humans, unleashing a gas throughout the world that killed more. Hulk doesn't remember any of this, so MODOK tells him that he and AIM took him and others who benefit from gamma radiation or cosmic rays, the not so classical heroes who could align themselves with the desire for survival that AIM and MODOK have. MODOK says that Hulk should be thanking him for saving him, but Hulk smashes him out of the way, leaving the base. He thinks this is maybe all just a lie, since the heroes surely would have stopped an all-out war, but then he remembers how they didn't do anything about Chernobyl, the Twin Towers, or gun control, instead only interested in what Red Skull is up to. He knows the world is determined to destroy itself as he arrives above ground, finding Los Angeles in complete ruin. He knows MODOK wasn't lying and the humans really blew themselves up. He knows no matter what the heroes did, this was bound to happen because humankind is so self-destructive and all they could do is stem the tide. Later, MODOK finds Hulk up by the Hollywood sign, learning the Hulk is there since that's all that's left. MODOK wants him to come back to the base with him since in 27 years they will all be able to leave the shelters since the radiation would have disappeared. Hulk begins smashing the sign up, saying why would he rebuild when humanity will will just destroy itself again. MODOK asks what Bruce is doing as Hulk finishes turning the Hollywood sign into a giant Hulk sign, telling MODOK that he doesn't need his friends since friends die and he needs to stop calling him Bruce Banner since that's not who he is anymore. MODOK asks if he's Hulk full time now, but the Hulk says that he will see what the future brings. Maestro issue 1 was a great beginning to see how Bruce Banner becomes one of his own and one of Marvel's greatest villains. The Inception-esque layout of the story was lots of fun, with Bruce being in a dream within kind of like a simulation, and I like how we just kind of get through all the world ended with nuclear war stuff in like one page, and it's not really that focused on that. Instead, Peter David does a great job sowing the seeds for Hulk becoming Maestro in really quite a cool way, with Bruce seeing all of his and all of the Avengers and all the other heroes, all of what they were doing was literally for nothing, since humankind will always just self-destruct and destroy themselves and each other. So it was all for nothing. I like that that little thing was just the catalyst that sort of sets Bruce off on this path that will see him become Maestro. And I'm really looking forward to that sort of growing over the next couple of issues to see how Bruce mutates into the post-apocalyptic tyrant. I'm going to give this issue an 8.5 out of 10.